Welcome to the Books and Martinis podcast.
I'm Priya.
And I'm Mercy.
And this is your go-to book podcast,
where we lift, empower, and spotlight authors.
Grab your martini and follow along.
And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe.
Hey, book lovers. This episode of Books and Martinis is brought to you by our wonderful sponsors. BlueBox Media, you dream it, we produce it. And Travel with Samantha Cividanes, specializing in luxury cruises. Ooh. Their support keeps the stories, authors, and conversations flowing. Don't forget to visit them and support the brands that support this podcast. Now the martinis are poured, let's get into the episode. What's up, everyone? Welcome to our podcast. I'm Priya.
I'm Mercy. Welcome, everybody. Welcome today, and welcome to Lana Night. Thank you so much for joining us yet once again. Cheers to you.
Cheers. Cheers, Lana. Salud.
Lana, how have you been?
Been good. Been writing. Lots of writing.
Yeah, that's the name of the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, on the screen and in your ears is Lana B. Knight. We've had her on before, so I kind of feel like we're friends now because
we are.
I'm like messaging her like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that to your character. And today I'm so excited. We are so excited. We're talking about book 2 in her series. Book 2 is called Nightwither, and it's book 2 to Starheart. Guys, this book,
love it.
Mercy. So I didn't message you after, but I just finished a book a couple nights before this interview.
Okay.
I messaged Lana right away. I'm like, Lana!
You're killing me. No spoilers. No spoilers.
So, okay. So before we get into the book, let's remind everyone who Lana B. Knight is. So Lana B. Knight is an adventurous storyteller and traveler shaped by the diverse cultural landscape of Canada. Their passion for exploration led them to live in South Korea for a year and a half, broadening their perspective on storytelling and creativity. Inspired by a lifelong love of fantasy movies, TV shows, and video games, Lana began writing Starheart after dreaming of the story for decades. Now based in Toronto, Canada, they enjoy capturing nature through photography, indulging in the city's vibrant food scheme, and embracing the thrill of bouldering. When not writing, Lana can often be found scaling indoor climbing walls or spending time with loved ones. Welcome, Lana.
Welcome. Yay.
So, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit more about you and why you decided to become an author?
Oh, that's a loaded question, isn't that?
A little bit.
Very extroverted. I love surrounding myself with people who I care about, and I love developing relationships. So human connection is incredibly important to me. And writing sort of came in the form of that expression of my experiences with people, good or bad. And I've been writing since I was 10, 11, but I never really started taking myself seriously up until a few years ago. But yeah, love writing, love people. I'm extroverted with a little bit of anxiety, so it's kind of a contradiction, but
can't even tell.
Who isn't?
You can't even tell you have anxiety.
How exciting, though. Tell us about your journey with this new book. How was it in comparison to the first one?
In comparison to the first one. So Starheart took me a long time to get fully on the page because, whether I had the skills for it or the whatever it was that prevented me from writing it, that didn't seem to come to the surface when I was writing Nightwither. Nightwither almost naturally came from the parts of me that I was living today. And I realized that Starheart was what I was experiencing throughout my whole life, and Nightwither is what I was experiencing currently. And it became so much more organic and cathartic. So I actually wrote more words per day with Nightwither than I did with Starheart. And I got it done technically in a shorter amount of time. Like if we're doing it word count, yeah. So Nightwither was actually quite easy to get onto the page.
Okay. Fantastic. What was your time frame with the first book? Like, how long did it take you beginning to end, as opposed to your second book?
So like the last time I wrote Starheart, which was, you know, it took me 5 months to write 125,000 words. And Nightwither took me 6 months to write 170,000 words.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. Both of them are pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
And
did
these
cut
books are,
10,000 words from
oh,
Nightwither.
that was my next question.
I'm an overwriter. I can't help it.
That must have been hard though. 10,000 words is a lot.
It is, but I think a lot, like my writing has developed, in my opinion, from Starheart so much that I was able to identify the lines and sort of scenes that didn't necessarily need to be written.
Mhm.
And I learned from actually from the Legend of Zelda series where I don't need to hold my reader's hand. And so I took a lot of that hand holding from Nightwither and to try to make sure that my readers are taken seriously when they're reading.
So when you
Beautiful.
say you're not holding their hand, you mean you're
I'm
just
not
putting
over
the story in.
explaining.
You're not over
Yeah, I'm not over
explaining.
explaining. I'm not saying the same line five different ways, or at least I'm trying not to. Um, with Starheart, I was trying to. I guess I was mainly holding my own hand, trying to over explain because I didn't want to be misunderstood. But
Hmm.
with Nightwither, I needed to sort of give that faith in my readers that they understood what I was trying to put down on the page.
Wow, wow. And then so I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. So Nightwither, guys, it continues with Stella's journey. So Stella is the FMC, and she arrives in her mother's homeland, Mira. Am I saying that right?
My
Mira,
era. But do you know what?
Myra.
Whatever pronunciation you got, that's correct too. There's no wrong way.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Thank you. a, a realm of unfamiliar creatures, magical lands, and values that challenge her core beliefs like never before, guys. Nothing could have prepared her for the responsibility of her mother's legacy. With a long history of tension rising and a civil war on the horizon, Stella is forced into her role as the Starheart to heal old wounds. So that's only the beginning of the summary, guys. But Stella goes through it in this book, and I felt
Yeah.
like I felt like I was going through it with her. And
Yeah.
before we got on here, okay,
Pretty
back up
sure
a
that
little
was the
bit.
idea, right?
Was that on purpose? Was that on purpose?
Of course. It's always on purpose.
So I finished this book a few days ago, and I had messaged Lana, like, oh my God, I'm so frustrated with Stella. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so irritated and frustrated.
Yeah.
You put me through all that, and then the ending, which is great because it makes you want to read book 3 and find out what happens
Yeah.
next, right? So, of course, the book did its job on me. Um, and
Yay.
she, yay, and so she goes through a healing journey, and she's been through a lot of traumatic stuff, and then she has the weight of her mother's legacy on her shoulders, the weight of
Yeah.
Starheart on her shoulders, and the weight of caring for her found family, her
Yeah.
friends that are now her family.
Yeah.
And now I don't know if I'm able to say this, but now she becomes part of another court within the
You
land.
can.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And then she starts to carry the weight of that, that responsibility of caring for those people, um, while leaving another one behind, because of all the trauma. So, okay, long story
No more
short,
spoiler.
why?
You should put a spoiler warning, be like, hey, skip this part.
Definitely.
Okay, why now in this part of the story did you unload like this? I know this is a very big question, but unload like this
Yeah.
for Stella.
I won't answer this question directly because in order for me to do that, I have to spoil it, but I
Okay.
will discuss why it was important for me to write these themes. I think, we all unfortunately at some point experience a trauma, and those memories and those invisible scars don't really leave us. We learn to live with them. But what people don't necessarily speak about is sort of the relapse of victimhood. Of sometimes our nervous system feels like it's still present in that traumatic experience, and then we display behaviors for protection to protect us when the
Mm.
threat is no longer there anymore, right? And it was important for me to talk about that because healing is not a straight line. It's an up and down roller coaster. Um, the things that, the things that happened to Stella isn't her fault, but it is her responsibility to manage.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely felt like she had walls
Very
up.
beautifully said.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me your journey now. How does it feel releasing your second book, which to everybody listening comes out April 14th? That's the big day. So place your order now so you have it ahead
Mhm.
of time. But how does that feel as opposed to the first one? I kind of want to say that it feels like having your second child. It's like the same exact amount of excitement and love. But
Yeah.
how does it feel to you to have that second book as opposed to the first time you released the book?
Oh, it's it's similar in feeling, I will admit, but there's more confidence this time around. Um, with Starheart, it was putting down a story that was very personal to me, and whether or not people liked it, it was none of my business what other people thought about the book because it was very personal to me. And yet I still was incredibly nervous about putting it out
Sure.
into the world because that was not only my first book, my book baby, but it was a part of me, right? Um,
Absolutely.
but Nightwither, out of all the things that I've ever written in my life, published and unpublished, is my favorite book that I've written.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so incredibly excited, but there is a layer of nervousness because I'm finally not, I was writing for me, but I was editing for the readers. So I hope that they could enjoy the experience that I'm trying to convey and pick up the sort of the life lessons and good feelings that I'm trying to share.
I love
What,
that. And
what was
go
oh
ahead. No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
what was your editing process like? Because we mentioned the 10,000 words. How did you figure that out? And what did you do?
Ugh, another loaded question. I have a step-by-step process that kind of works for me. When I'm first writing any draft, we all have the itch to go back and edit and to change things, but it's always important to have the first draft just laid out first. So, in order to relieve that itch, I have a separate document where I write all of the edits that I need to make in whatever chapter that I identify them. And then I continue writing as if I've already made those changes. So, my first round of edits, it's self edits where I'm making those changes that I made note of. And then my second round of self edits is me cutting, essentially. Those are the sort of the two self edit rounds. And then I go through line edits with my editor, and then I do copy edits, I do proofreads, and then arc readers, and then it's out into the world.
I want you to share with our listeners if they haven't picked up your book yet, why should they?
I think a lot of literature is created for exploration of emotions. And I feel in my books that I explore feelings that women especially aren't necessarily allowed to express that they're feeling because it's either taboo or it's because women are just women.
Mm.
And it's a safe space to explore rage, sorrow, grief, love, where we're not shamed for those emotions or over analyzed by other people, where we just can experience the desire to get revenge or the desire to fall in love or the desire to be ugly in grief. And that is my intentional purpose with writing is to write raw and real emotion for people to explore in a safe space. So if you guys want to read that, Read Starheart and Nightwither.
And,
Oh,
and you know,
beautiful.
it was so clear with the characters that they gave Stella space as she was going through everything. And I love that they backed up. I mean, we did have some pushback from characters like Otha, and Knox was trying his best. You know what I mean?
No
But
spoilers, Priya.
I'm trying my best not to give spoilers. But you saw it clearly that everybody was emotionally intelligent. Well, not everybody, but like there was a lot of emotional intelligence in the characters that you created. And because you're going through the journey with Stella, you see the walls up, you see what she's going through. She's been through some crazy shit, you know. and she's still courageous and she's still brave in the face of it, and she's not even aware that her courage is shining through like that, but her friends see it, and
Yeah.
they're willing to put everything on the line just to protect her because they see her courage and see how much she loves them, and they're constantly
Yeah.
trying to like reel her back in and be like, hey, we love you too, let us protect you now, and that was so powerful to read. And I'm going on like this is not really a question. I'm more like,
You're just sharing your thoughts on the book. I love it.
sharing my thoughts on the book. And the story is enemies to lovers. And I was achingly awaiting Stella and Knox, for them to come together. So you guys will have to read it to find out if they do hook up. And you will have to go through this journey with Stella to get there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Knox a little bit. So, what was your thinking behind him for his character in this book? Because it's very different from last book and what they went through.
Yeah. So last book he didn't have many lines.
You didn't.
Uh, this book, I'm trying to think about how to say this without giving too much away. I think in everyday life, there's a certain amount of performance that we display, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just intentionally, but we do try to portray ourselves as a certain thing based on how we see ourselves. And I think every one of my characters goes through this experience, and I don't think they'll ever stop because that's just life and
Like,
how it reflects the world that we live in. And it was important for me to highlight that in Noxrian because one, he's an important character to me. He was actually created in the moment. I actually didn't know that he would have been created in Starheart at all. He wasn't planned, but he definitely is a reflection of like human performance and masking.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Literally.
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 let's pivot
Okay.
completely.
Okay.
Want to tell us what advice you would give authors? I know you did that in the past. You did give some advice, but now you're an author of a second book. So a little more professional here, more respect. So we would
Oh,
like
thank
to
you.
know, yes, what it takes to be an author, in your opinion.
Have some audacity in your work. Like, assume that your work is good because you need to believe in your work in order for other people to believe in it.
Mm.
How are
That's
you
beautiful.
going to share a book that you don't believe in with other people and you want them to love it? You need to have a little bit of confidence, audacity, and a little bit of zest.
Do you feel like you had that in book two?
Oh, yeah. A little too much, I think.
And so do you feel that that increases as you go on with books? So your confidence increased with the second book as opposed to the first book? Does it
Yeah,
get
so
easier, I guess, is my question.
my confidence is very up there. I'm currently working on two writing projects right now, and I've learned in Nightwither, despite me plowing through that in, 6 months or whatever, that I can do hard things slowly. And so I'm taking my time with these new writing projects because I am confident that when I do sit down, it'll still be good to my standards, at least. And I
Love
don't need
that.
to rush the process in order to prove to myself that it's good because I know it will be good. I don't need to see it in order to believe it, if that makes any sense. So Nightwither
Absolutely.
really injected that confidence into my veins.
And now that you're working on other projects and you just completed your second book, what does a writing day look like for you as an author? How do you incorporate your time? Are you very structured, like from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m., or do you just write when it comes to you? Do you like how does your
Mhm.
day look?
And we can even compare it to before with book one.
Hmm.
How much has it changed?
Yeah,
Right.
so surprisingly, Starheart and Nightwither had the same structure. It's with these new writing projects that I'm adopting a new sort of schedule, as you can say. With
Hmm.
uh, with both Starheart and Nightwither, I wrote a chapter every 3 days, and I stuck to that schedule no matter what. Whether it's on the first day of those 3 days, I'm only writing 20 words. By the third day, that chapter had to be done. And that way I was able to write a book in 5 months while also having a full-time job. And it was my 5 to 9 while I did my 9 to 5 during the day. So a lot of my time is dedicated to writing. Now with these new writing projects that I have, um, I'm allowing myself to brew more in the I'm not feeling like it right now. So I don't have a schedule. I don't have a timeline. Um, if it was my 9 to 5, maybe I would probably still adopt the 3 day chapter cycle that I have. But because I have so much on my plate during the day, it's just not
Right.
sustainable. And I want to honor all of the hard work that I did with those two books by taking my time with these writing projects. I deserve it, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
Actually,
Absolutely.
I
And
love that. I love the every 3 days
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
I love it too.
It's really helpful to like it was helpful for me to for Starheart. It was an excuse for me for Nightwither because if I had the choice with Nightwither, I would have done that in like 3 months. I forced myself to like, okay, I was done
Pace
the chapter in one day. I have to wait 2 days before I start the next one. Like I need to relax.
Oh,
pace yourself.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I
Love that.
loved writing Nightwither. I don't know what about that book. Just
Maybe because it was so fresh in your mind because it's
maybe, yeah, I
happening
just
present time.
true. You know what? That's
Did you
yeah.
know how many chapters you wanted to write when you started to write? So you have somebody that's thinking about writing, and you know that it's going to take you 3 days per chapter. But do you know, okay, my goal is to write 30 chapters, or my goal is to just go until I feel it's finished? Or
Hmm.
like, how did you time that?
Hey, book lovers and martini sippers. It's Books and Martinis, and we've got something special for you this month.
That's right. Our April author spotlight is the incredible Khaya Fraites and her debut novel, Rip LOL.
It's sharp, it's funny, and just the right amount of chaotic. We are obsessed.
Hi everyone, I'm Khaya Fraites, and I'm so excited for you all to dive into Rip LOL. I hope you love reading it as much as I loved writing it.
Aw, it's out April 17th. Make sure you grab your copy and read along with us all month long.
And don't forget to join the conversation only on Books and Martinis.
Cheers.
So my writing process is a little bit odd, but it works for me. I do have an outline, a very in-depth outline. A majority of it is dialogue. I believe for Nightwither, my outline was 40,000 words, which is
That's
half
impressive.
of it. Yeah. And it was mainly all dialogue or sort of like story beats, almost like when you have a theater production, you have like X marks the spot, this character needs to be there at this point
Mm.
during the scene, sort of in that way.
Like a script.
Like almost like you know what? Yes, it's like a script without the
Yeah.
fluff.
Yeah.
And I Sorry, what was the question?
When you sit down, that's okay. When you sit down and you start planning, you know that every 3 days you're going to complete a chapter. But
Right.
do you already know I'm going to have 30 chapters? I'm going to have 20 chapters?
Right.
Like, do you know ahead of time how many chapters are your goal? Or do you just know that you're going to do one chapter at a time and you go with the flow until the book in your heart is ready, and whether that
Right.
took 30 or 60 chapters?
Right. Thank you for reminding me. So I do have my outline. I do have a structure that I have. I believe Nightwither originally was only 67 chapters outlined, but I'm an architect when it comes to writing, so I build the blueprints of the house and I build the house, but how my characters decorate each room is up to them. So a lot of the times characters added content or took away content while I was writing because that's what felt most natural. So I
Right.
do have an idea of how many chapters that I'm writing, but at the end of the day, it's not. I'm the passenger princess. And how my characters decide to get to those emotional beats or those plot beats or checkpoints, I like to call them, is entirely up to them.
I love that. I love that. So you do
So
have an idea. Okay, so we're looking at maybe 60 chapters, but it made it end up at 67 chapters, and that's okay.
Yeah, because I split the ideas that I have on scenes or whatever, how I decide to organize it, and I make a guesstimate about how many chapters it's going to be because of like what I want in this chapter, what I want in this chapter. But
Exactly. That
sometimes,
was perfect.
yeah.
That was my question. So somebody that wants to be an author, somebody that wants to start writing, and they're looking for ways of incorporating their thoughts into paper,
Hmm.
then this is a great idea and an inspiration of, them. Okay, so break it down into 60 chapters, and what do you want each chapter to look like? And then how many days should you give yourself per chapter, or every couple of chapters, so however it works for somebody. So that's why I was asking you, because a lot of our listeners love to learn from authors.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I would definitely
Mm-hmm.
just say write the idea, break down each idea into scenes slash chapters, and then go from there and like see how it feels. Because at the end of the day, everyone's writing process is so different. I know people who don't even have outlines.
Yeah.
It could not be
I
me.
yeah, it and it's funny because when I was writing mine, I broke it down per season because it went over a 50-year period. So I broke it into 7 seasons because I like the number 7. And every season had 7 years.
Oh, I love
And then
that.
within those years, so like let's say from 1970 to 1977, those 7 years, this is what's going to happen there. And then that was
I
like
see what
my
you mean.
big, I broke it down that way. And then within each season, okay, these are the things that have to happen. I have 7 years. So each chapter was a year. And then within that year, what had to happen? Who are the characters? And
I
so
love that. That's actually
that was,
really,
yeah.
yeah.
So
so
that was my
you had a,
architectural
yeah.
design.
And
Yeah.
I love the way you phrase that you were the architect, and the
Yeah.
outlining it becomes more important. So I'm more of a pantser. So I totally dumped my first book, Between Beasts and the Stars. Like I dumped everything on paper, and then I continued to dump and like edit that way. And then when I started writing book 2, I mean these books aren't out yet, but when I started writing book 2, I had a storyboard, like a
Right.
poster with post-it notes. I was like, okay, I have to figure out the culture, the language, blah blah blah. I was a little bit more organized, but there has to be some level of organization and
Yeah.
architectural
Architecture,
plan.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
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 You have
I
to
know.
have it.
And I'll tell you, Priya, for me, I have an issue when I write something. So I can have a journal, right, or a notebook, and I'll start writing. And if I mess up as I'm writing, I have to get a brand new page and I have to start again because I cannot physically see that there's like a mistake or a sloppiness or something. So I know it's totally psychological, but I have to, so I try to stay away from writing ink on paper and I go to the computer because it's so much easier to
Yeah.
fix. I don't have to start over and over. So everything has to be just right. Just so this line has to match, this has to be level, and so that's That's my mentality. So when I broke it down, it's got to be structured. And I think that makes it so much harder because
But
it's
it works
easy in
for
a
you. That's
way,
what's
but
important,
it
right?
right, but it doesn't flow. Exactly. So to tell our listeners, there's so many different ways that we could go about this, and they all clearly work because here we have 3 different people and 3 different authors with 3 different ways of structuring a story.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah. Lana, do you write, or like physically write and plan that way, or is it all digital? How are you doing your architectural work?
It's all digital when it comes to my novels. I don't think I actually physically write at all, other than like lists. I love a good list. Like I had to-do list. I always yeah,
I live
like
on lists. I
I
like
do
the
a
list.
physical one, but when it comes to all of my work, it's all digital. It's on a cloud sharing thing, so I have access on my phone. So if I ever am like at a
Inspired.
park or at a party, and I'm like, oh, I have an idea. Let me just like dump this in my notes app or whatever. It'll show up on my computer later that evening, and then I'll be able to continue with that idea.
I do the
Oh, that's
same
great.
thing. I do the same thing. I was just talking to my daughter about notes, and I told you use your notes a lot, or is it a me problem? And she said, no, I use my notes a lot. I'm like, oh, okay. How many notes do you have? I need to know if I have a
too
notes
many.
problem.
I have a
And
notes
she
problem.
told me, oh, I have a lot because I have like 110. I'm like, oh, I have like almost
Dang.
400. I go, I have almost 400 notes.
What?
And she goes,
Yeah.
oh, you
I'm
have a
actually
notes
curious
problem.
to see how many notes I have.
Does
Right?
it tell you the number?
Yeah, it tells you your notes, tells you how many notes you have. So yeah, I have
they
almost
do.
400. But I have notes for everything, for these thoughts and these thoughts on a book and these thoughts on a character, and then these grocery lists and Christmas lists and birthday lists.
I have a lot
I
of
love it.
notes, guys. I
What?
have over
How many notes?
600.
You have
Oh,
over
you
600?
see? Oh, good. It's not a me
Oh.
problem.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
Can't help
Notes are
it.
the best. Notes are the best. And then you could go back. I go back. I have
Yeah.
like 10 years old already, and I go back to notes that I had, even in the beginning of the year when you're goal setting and you're wondering, okay, what were my goals 5 years ago? And I'll go back. I'm like, oh, damn, okay, I did that. Or what happened to that? I forgot. So, yeah, notes are the best.
Yeah, I
I
have
love
notes from
it.
2019, 18.
Right? Yeah, same. It's so awesome. Okay,
It's
we
so
jumped
interesting.
loud.
I
Yeah,
know,
we
I know, but
But
that's
these
great that
are
we're doing this
author
all on here.
mentalities.
Yeah.
So I love this.
So I do have to point out, we were talking about chapters before. I loved your short chapters. So it was easy for me to digest.
Me too. I
I
love
love having short
chapters.
chapters because I always I flip ahead and I'm like, okay, when is this going to end? So I could time myself because I have to move on to something else or whatever. And if it's really long, I'm just like, oh man.
There's something
so
about you. Yeah, there's something about them that gives you this probably false sense, but it gives you a sense of completion. Like,
yes.
oh, yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
I'm on that chapter. And one of my favorite writers when I first started reading was James Patterson, because every other page was a chapter. And I felt so like, wow, I'm on chapter 30.
Accomplishment.
Like,
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 30 pages, like nothing. But I was on chapter 30, so that was a big deal. So short chapters are the way to go. I love it.
Yeah. And I'm actually just looking at Alana's book right now, and I last book I tabbed it up. This one I scribbled all over.
I love that. I love that.
That's a book loved.
Yeah, a book loved, and I totally loved Honest. I was like, yes, goosebumps, or
Say
if
no
some
more,
part,
Priya,
or if a part reminded me of we're talking about this being inspired by the video game Zelda, right? So the name Link, was one of the characters.
Yeah.
And I was like, ah!
I had to put my favorite main character in there.
And you kept it to towards the end too. And I was like, oh, she put it in there. And small things like Lord of the Rings, stuff reminded me of that. Or there was other stories in here, other books or shows that it reminded me of. And I was like, yes. And I loved all that. I love all those little comparisons. And
I love that. I'm glad that you enjoyed those comparisons.
Because it just keeps your imagination going. And it's because I enjoy the comparison because I enjoyed those other things. I played Zelda when I was younger. I love Lord of the Rings. There's all these other comparisons too. Like, you just things that reminds you of those feelings, and you just want to continue reading it and devouring it, It was so good. It was so good, Lana. And thank you for trusting us with one of your book babies,
of course.
And reading it. And I've seen all the reviews. All the reviews are fantastic. And I'm just like, yes, of course it is.
I don't look at them, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah, you did a bang out job in this. And
Thank you.
so can I quote a line from the book? Is that okay? You tell me whether or not it's too much.
Is Mercy gonna let you?
Or are you gonna let me?
One more thing, Priya, and then that's it. One more.
Okay, so this is on page 473. I'm gonna put on my glasses.
Oh, we're
guys.
in it. Okay.
On the 15th.
Okay, so guys, I just edited out a part because Lana said no.
Right.
But I loved the line. I loved the line.
I mean, I love the line too.
Oh
I
my
love
God.
the line too, but it's a tell-off, so we can't. Okay, deep breath. All right,
this little clip will come out after the book releases, sort of. How long can I wait, Lana?
The minute the book is out, it's all you.
Well, I think this episode is coming out.
Everybody's bought the book. Everybody's gotten the book already. Give them a little bit to read the book, Priya. Okay. Lana, I wanted to thank you so much for joining us and for sharing with us both the passion behind the story and the process, your architectural process to complete your manuscript. We can't thank you enough. We're excited for you. We wish you immense luck. And I know that the second one hasn't yet released, but can I tell you that we're excited for the third one? Since we're left on a cliffhanger that we can't say.
Can you give us anything about the third one, or are you just going to leave it?
Well, one of the writing projects.
The envelope today.
I know, I totally am, because I'm a big fan now. It's
we love
our authors. I
love the passion.
And there's some authors you just and I feel like, Alana, you could tell me if I'm being annoying at any point.
No, you're not annoying.
I'm always liking your stuff and commenting because I'm a real fan. I'm a real fan, Alana. All right, go ahead.
I think she got it.
I will say one of the writing projects that I'm working on is book 3. So it is in the works, but I'm taking my time with it. I'm really, really proud of this book as well. And yeah, can't wait for you guys to read book 3.
Will it be a trilogy?
It'll be a tetralogy, so 4 main books. Yeah, I have my eyes on potential novellas, but I don't know yet.
Okay. Okay. One step at a time. No
exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Lana, thank you so much. And let's do a big cheers to the third one coming out. And wishing you all the success on April 14th. And
cheers,
then Priya can share her heart out.
Thank you.
Priya.
Salute to all your success, as Mercy said. Thank you guys for listening. Lana, where can everybody find your book?
They can find my book about anywhere. Barnes & Nobles, Indigo, Waterstones, Books A Million, Amazon, you name it, it's there.
Love it. Love it.
And what's your Instagram handle for those that might be listening to us in a different platform?
It is my author name, Lana B Knight, with a K, not just an N. And TikTok, Instagram, Reds, you name it, I'm there.
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, thank you, Lana, again. You guys, make sure you pick up her book, devour it like we did, and reach out to her and tell her that you loved it.
Yes. Show the love.
Like, share, follow, subscribe. Thank you guys for listening. Tune in next week.
Absolutely. Bye, everybody. Bye, Lana. Thank you again.